all. This is Dave from the Gaming Cave. Today we're going to do a play test of Aces of Valor. I'm play testing this soon. We hope that it will be published by Legion Games. So I'm going to do some playthroughs. This is a solitaire game of World War I aerial combat. These are the rules. They're being, we have some things in here, the counters and those things. These are in yellow are the test rules that I'm testing, trying to make sure that everything works okay as part of the game, start of the combat. So I have a few of these rules that we'll refer to periodically. Currently, the only two countries I can fly for are the American or the German. We'll be doing the American. And then I also have, let me see where I put it. Sorry. I have the player aid. Currently this Camel's not there. It's a Newport 28. But it shows the campaign setup. These are I have the paper copies I'll refer to most of the time during the game, but I'll flash these up every once in a while. Pre-mission phase. This is the post-mission phase. Campaign victory. I'm going to probably work off of this campaign victory result, see how I do with that. The flight phase, so things that we do and modifiers that'll happen during our flight. Again, the flight event outcome, if that comes up, and then if we do any random ground targets, which I haven't done yet. And then we have combat, so we have our air-to-air, what types of planes we're going to fly against, the detection checks, things like that, actual combat sequences that happen. So that's the player aids that we'll be using today also. So we'll refer to that periodically too. The other thing I'll keep is a spreadsheet. Here's the short campaign. As you can see, I only scored 5 victory points, so it was horrible. I had a horrible time with it, but it was a great game. But I just had a horrible. The dice gods were against me in that game. So that was a short campaign. It was 8 missions. Today we're doing a medium. It's 12. So we'll see how that goes. And then we're playing this on Vassal. I'm not the best person on Vassal, but you know, the game plays fine until we get it published and becomes a board game. There's nothing secret here, but it's nothing that none of these files will get shared with anybody. So, like I said, this is just a play test. So, gives you a first look if you haven't seen this. So let's get started and see how we're going to do. Like I said, we're going to do a medium campaign, so that's here. And then I have to place game markers. So pick my nationality. So I'm doing the Americans. So the first thing I do is I have to roll to see what level of plane I'm going to have. So when we come back to the player aid, that's this table right here. We're going to roll 1d6, a 1, 2, we're tier 1, a 3, 4, tier 2, 5, 6, tier 3, and then we'll roll for our airfield. Same breakdown, ABC. Okay? So jump back over here again. We'll roll our first d6. This is for our level of plane. It's a 6. All right. So we're going to be a tier 3. So one of the things I'm going to indicate here on my sheet, just so I don't forget what I was doing. I'm a tier 3 for this mission. We haven't got our mission type yet. All right. And so we draw 8 American fighters. So we come in here and we're going to get the SPAD 13. Right click. We're going to draw multiple cards. And we need 8 of them. We say okay. We come over here and we drag them down here. And we'll drop right here. And all 8 are in there. And then we are going to separate these guys and start laying them out. 2, 3, 4, Out of the way. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. I'm going to dress everything up here a little bit. Okay, so we drew Frank. So he's the blue square indicates his air to air, so he's a +2, and the brown is +1 for the uh, air to ground attacks. The red 4/6 is his hit ratio. When we roll the dice, he needs at least a 4 plus his modifier to get score 1 hit, and if he gets a 6 or above, he gets 2 hits. The 8 and the 6 in the bottom left corner. The 8 is his playing performance, and if he's carrying ordnance like bombs or rockets, it would only be a 6. And his 5 is his durability, so how many hits he can take. Okay, and then there's a damage side to this, so if you flip it over, you can see the smoke coming out, and he can take his damage is still 5. His firepower drops down, and his performance dropped off. Okay, so definitely you don't want to get to that side if you can avoid it. Okay, we'll flip that back. So we have Frank, we have August, he's good at air to ground. We have, come on, Fred, he's a basic pilot. Oren, same thing. James, same thing. Francis, he's good. Eugene, and Chester. Okay. All right, so we drew them. Now we're going to roll for our airfield. We roll, it's a 5, so we're going to be in the C airfield. So I need my pieces here. We'll spread this out a little bit so I can get everything going. Come on, there we go. And we need our airfield. And it's a marker. And so we need our home airfield right here. And like I said, we're going to come down here and over to the right. And that's our airfield right there. I'll stick this in the corner right here. And then the other thing we need is our flight marker for when we're flying. So this is our flight marker. So we bring it down here and we drop it in this corner down here. And now we've got our pieces set up. And so we're ready to begin our first mission. So we're all set up. Our mission markers on number 1. We draw our first mission card. So we come over, we draw this mission card, and we get trench strafing. I get 4 fighters. We're going to conduct attacks on D3 ground targets in enemy trench sectors C to E. Use table F8 to determine ground target types. Ignore ground target result during flight event check. Okay, so this is first time I've had trench strafing. So we'll have to see how that goes. I get 4 fighters. I want guys that are good with their ground stuff. Conduct attacks on a D3, dice 3 ground targets in enemy trench sectors C through E. Okay, so we don't know what they are yet. C, D, and E is where we're going. And when we get over there, we'll roll for those types. I suppose we could roll for them now. To do that, sorry, let me look here. I got to find that table and then I'll pull it up here. This is the random target table on F8. Okay, so I'll show you that. So here is, always have to remember which one I put this on. We come down, and we're looking for F8. That's this one right here. So we're going to roll a D3. And because this will be in the enemy trenches, this is going to tell us what type of ground target that we're going to go against. Okay. All right. So when we get there, we can roll for that. Or we can roll now. Let's roll a 2d6. Okay. So we'll back up to the game. And we'll go ahead and do that just so I don't forget where it's at. Okay, 2d6. I'm looking at my table. I rolled a 7. So a 7 is entrenched infantry. This is for C. So ground targets. And we need entrenched infantry right here. So we drag it over here and put it in sector C. Put it right there. Okay, the second one is a 3. A 3 is a balloon. Well, that's cool. So there's a balloon over here in sector D. So we're going to go for that balloon if we can. And then the last one is a 9. And the 9 is air-to-air, anti-aircraft machine gun. Okay, so that's this one. Okay, and while we got this counter right here, this first space right here is how many dice they're going to use on their anti-aircraft rolls. And this 3 is their initiative, which will come into play in combat, and then how many hits it takes to knock him out, and how many MPs on this side, and then we flip him over, you get the total MPs if you knock it out. Okay, this one's in section E, so that's not bad. All right. So that's the targets we're going to go after. So I get choose my flight. Let's see. I can roll for weather first. 1d6. A 5 is heavy clouds. Okay, so we move this marker down to heavy clouds. And I got to pick my 4 fighters that I get. So I want my ground guys. So there's August. Francis is really good. So we'll definitely take Francis. He's +2. We'll take August, +1. Frank, 3. And I think everybody else is 0, so we'll just take Fred. All right, so that's the 4 fighters that I'll be going with. Okay, so really, that's it. We're all set up and ready to go. So, here's what happens next. We come down here to our airfield. We have fuel enough for 25 turns if we don't spend any long combat anywhere. We lose a turn if we do. We need to get up here, and we don't want to start taking any flack or raising our risk until we have to. So we kind of decide, what do we want to go after? All these guys are 2 MPs at this point, so I'll probably just go after the infantry's nice because he doesn't fire much at you. The balloon's the heaviest defended, and then of course the anti-air machine gun. He takes the fewest to kill, so it's kind of a choice between which one we go after. Just for reference, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's going to take us 18 turns to get there. So we should have plenty of fuel to get there and back. Okay. So the way this works is we now start our first move. We're on turn 1. We move. So we're going to move out over the rail yard. Normally, if we're in the enemy sectors, then we roll to see if there's any anti-aircraft fire. So I'll show you that real quick on this table. So we're right here. So we move our flight. If we're in an enemy anti-aircraft sector, then we roll on this table to see if there's none, light, moderate, or heavy. And there's heavy clouds, so that's going to work in our favor for that. And then, because there aren't any, we still roll a flight event check. You can see in friendly rear, that's where we're at right now. 2 to 10 will be no event, which is what we want. 11 to 12, something nasty is going to happen probably. Most likely, could be weather change, engine trouble. Could be we encounter an enemy raid. Could be we encounter enemy fighters, which seemed to happen to me quite often in the last campaign. Okay, So here we go. So if nothing happens, this first starts moving pretty quick. So there's no flak to check. So now we roll 2d6, a 6, nothing. Turn 2. I like to avoid the woods just in case something happens to us. So I move up, 2d6, 6, nothing. Turn 3. Move over, 2d6, 10, nothing. Whew, that was close. Turn 4. Move, 2d6, 10, nothing. Living on the edge. Turn 5. Move, 2d6, 7, nothing. Okay, now I'm at a point where I can start going after these guys. So I think I'm just going to come over and hit them and work my way up the trench. At least that's my plan. Okay, turn 6. Move. We're over the trenches now, but those are my sides, so there's still no anti-aircraft fire. We roll for an event. It's a 3, no event. Great. Things are moving along pretty good. It's turn 7. Now we move into this sector. First thing we do, we got to roll to see if there's any anti-aircraft ground fire. So we roll 1d6 and a 6, of course. So they get 3 dice. It takes a 6 to hit. Okay, so I'll show you this real quick, just so you see what we're doing here. Oops. Play raid 2, force landing. Right here. So we roll 1d6. 1 to 3 would have been none, but we rolled 6, so it's heavy. Oh, sorry, see, -1. Thank goodness for the heavy clouds today. So it's a 5, so they only get 2d6. I have to roll 2d6. It takes a 6 as a hit, okay? So here we go. So we're going to roll 2d6 for each fighter for the 4 that are in this flight. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll move right down the line with them. So here goes the first roll. No hits. No hit. 1 hit on number 3, of course. Need a marker. Hit. Hit. So over here, this is Frank. That's bad. So Frank gets hit right here. Put a hit on him. And now we roll 1d6 to determine damage. Now remember, it takes a 5 to hit. A 5's his, it's got to be higher than that to cause him damage. If it hits so we roll and we get a 1, so no damage, but he did take a hit, which will count later on during the flight. We got 1 more flak to go. Another hit. Dang. Okay, this is on Fred. Fred takes 1, we roll a d6, and it's a 1, so just damage, but nothing that affected the flight. Now we roll for an event. It's a 4, so no event. So I'm going to get my strafing run now on these guys. Okay. So what I want to do is sorry, I'm just looking at the rules real quick. Okay. Yep. Okay. So we're coming in against these, we're strafing. So this anti-aircraft's going to fire at us. He's got 3, so he rolls 3 dice. Again, it takes a 6 for him to hit us. And his initiative will be 3. And when we get done with this, we'll roll for initiative on all 4 of these guys, and it will put them in this box. So we'll go ahead and roll 3d6 4 times and see if he hits any of these cats. I guess that's the way I should do that. And now I'm looking again to make sure. Attacking ground targets. Attacks determine target. Roll the number of dice equal. Make a damage roll. Determine the type of weapon being used for strafing attacks. Note that fighters use the ground, sky, die roll modifier, balloons, and natural ones always miss. So I guess we could do these one at a time. I guess actually that's what I should do. So I need to roll for initiative. So the way initiative works is we roll 1d6, whatever we roll, plus 8 for in this case, plus 2 for his ground attack. Okay. So I'm going to roll my d6. He gets 2, 8 is 10, and 2 more is 12. So his initiative's 12. Okay. We roll another one. Oh, great. 6, 8's 14, and 1 more is a 15. That's a great. So he's going to get the first run probably, these guys. Roll a d6. It's a 1. So Frank, sorry, he gets 9 plus 1 is 10. So Frank's in box 10. And then the last one, we roll a d6, and it's a 1, and he gets 9. So that's my order of attack, highest to lowest. Remember that his initiative is 3, so he's going to be there. So first thing that happens is August attacks, and he's got to weather the machine gun fire. He gets 3d6. They need a 6 to hit him. 3, 2, 4, no hits. He now attacks. Okay. I'll pull this up here and show you what we're going to do here for this attack. It's on player aid 3. We reduce this. And we'll come in here. We go down here to player aid 3. Right here. And we're doing a strafing attack. So this is where initiative comes in. The difference in the initiative. So in this case, he's a 15 and they're a 3, so that's a 12. So 11 to 15, he's going to get 3d6, and he needs a 4 to score 1 hit, a 6 is to score 2 hits. Okay. So come back to the game. And we've got August, whose initiative there was +1. He gets a +1 on his die roll here when he attacks. Like I said, he's 15, and their initiative for this ground target is 3. Okay, so here he comes. So he's going to roll 3d6. He needs 4s and 6s to score hits. Okay, 3d6 +1 to his die roll. So that's a 6, 2, and a 4. The 4's a hit, the 2's a miss, the 6 is 2 hits. So he scored 3 hits. So I get 3 hits on this gun. So I'm going to move a marker down here on top of this gun. Yep, I got it on there. All right. So he's going to score 3 hits. So I come to my table for strafing. I roll 1d6 for each hit now to see. And I actually need 3, 4, 5, or 6 to score a damage point. Okay, d6, a 6. So I got 1 hit. In fact, I'm going to unstack this and put it beside there. So I got 1 hit. Now we're going to... I know what I'm doing. It doesn't. I don't act like I know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing. I got 1 hit. I'm going to put this marker on top of him. Okay. Going to increase my hits. Sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Decrease that. That was hit number 1. Hit number 2. We roll for it. It's a 4. A 4 is 1 hit. Now he's at 2 hits. And in this case, 2 damaged him. So I flip this over to the damage side. He takes a total of 3 hits. So I only need 1 more hit. So we're going to fire for hit number 3. This is an increase. This is the 3rd hit. We roll our d6, and we got a 6. So I scored 3 hits. I killed this target. Okay, so this one's done. So that's great. All these guys did their job. He took his action. I can get rid of this now. I can get rid of this, delete, and I move this target to destroyed. Okay, and that's worth 4 MPs, which is huge for us. All these guys come back over here. And that was 1 round of combat, so it didn't even take any extra fuel. All right, it's turn number 8. we're going to move to the balloon. All right. First thing we do is roll for flat. A 6. -1 is a 5. So he gets 2d6 for all 4 fighters. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just that order is the way we're doing it. So 2d6. 6s are what I don't want. Miss. Hit. So this is hit number 2 on Fred. Increases hit to number 2. We roll a d6. It's a 3. This is his second hit. So let me show you this. His second hit. Go back up. Oh, I was in the right spot. So when you do damage, it's +1 for each hit after the first hit. So that's what I'm rolling against. Okay, back down, back up. All right, we got to roll. He rolled a 3. And so +1's a 4. His performance is a 5, or his damage endurance is a 5, so he didn't take any damage. So we're good there. Roll 2d6 for the next plane, miss, and for the last one, miss. So no flak. Now we got to roll a 2, so there's no special event. So now we can attack again. His initiative's a 4. He's going to have 4. So we got to roll for our initiative here on all 4 fighters. So here goes the first roll is a 2. +8's a 10, +1's an 11. He's got an 11. Next guy is a 5, and 8's a 13. So he's a 13. Next roll is a 4, and 8's a 12, +2 makes him a 14. This is good. And then the last one is a 1, of course. Always get 1. That's a 9, +1's a 10. Okay. This balloon's initiative, the middle number is a 4. And he's got 4d6 that he's going to roll at us as we attack. Okay, so the first attack is right here. This is 14 on 4, so he's at +10. Again, if we look at our table, getting quicker at this, going back and forth. This is a strafing attack on this balloon. We're 6 to 10. Okay. Excuse me. So he's 2d6. All right. And this is Francis. He's a +2 on his die roll. So he gets 2d6. We roll. We get a 5 and a 2. +2. It's him a 7 and a 4. So he scored 3 hits. So here we go. We're going to put this marker right here. This is to keep track of his hits. And if we score any, we'll put them on there. All right. Strafing damage is, again, 3 to 6 to score the hit. Here's the first one. Hit! So we get our first hit on the balloon. All right. Now we're going to roll for our second. A 2. He missed. And now for the third one. Rolls a 1. So that's what he got. Okay. Come back over here. And he's done. Next guy up is Fred. He gets no modifier on his roll. We'll get rid of this one right now. Delete. Fred's a 13 on 4. That's a 9. And on our table, without going back to it, it's still 2d6. And he has no grand skill to modify. Rolls 2d6. 2 and a 2. He missed. So Fred. Oh, you know what? I got to come back up here. I got to do it for both these guys. I didn't roll the flak, the anti-aircraft fire. So we're going to go ahead and do that. If it changes anything, I'll go back and fix it. We got to roll flak against Francis. It's 4d6. There was nothing. No effect. Okay, 4d6 against Fred. He took 1 hit. So Fred's getting banged up. So he now has 3 hits. We roll a d6. And it's a 6. And it's +2 makes it an 8. Guess what? Fred is shot down or damaged enough that his plane's going down. Okay, so there's a table we look at for this right here. And this is aircraft damage. So it was greater than 3. Destroyed friendly fighter check. So we're going to roll 1d6 and see what happens right here. Okay. We really need to glide because we got to get back over our lines or we're going to lose Fred. Okay. So we're coming back over. We roll the d6 and it's a 1. He's killed. So that's it. Fred's gone. Take this off of the top of him and Fred goes in the destroyed box. That's going to count against us on our MP4. So see the flak? It got me. Okay, next guy up is Frank. Frank's got to weather the anti-aircraft fire. Again, it's a 4d6. They roll. No hits. Thank goodness. Okay, Frank's attacking. He's a +1. So we have our strafing attack. He's at 11. There are 4, that's 7. We're still in the 2d6 area. So he fires 2d6, a 5 and a 2, +1, makes it a 6 and a 3. So it's 2 hits. All right, so Frank gets 2 hits on this bad boy right here. Keep track of this. His first hit is a 3, and it is a hit. Okay. That makes this a 2. And that means we flip him over. He still needs 2 more hits to eliminate it. He's going to fire his second shot here. We're going to increase, and we see what it did. A 5. He got a 3rd hit. So we're 1 hit away from destroying this target, and that's it for Frank. Our last guy is August. He's a 6 above on the initiative, which is still 2d6. He gets a +1 on his attack roll. He's got to weather this storm of anti-aircraft fire, which is down to 3 now because we damaged him enough. Thank goodness, that's better. And we got a hit. Okay, so August takes a hit. And we roll to see what the hit was, and it's just minor damage. Okay, so August is attacking now. He's a +1 to his attack roll. He gets 2d6. Rolls. Gets a 2 and a 6. That's a 3 and a 7. So he gets 2 hits. So we'll leave this marker here. Put it here. His first hit is a 5. That's it. They destroyed the target. Okay. So we can get rid of this now. Get rid of this. And that's 5 MPs for me. Okay. And August comes down. His action's over. Okay. We still got 3 guys left. Nobody's damaged yet. So we can take another round here. So we go round 9. We move up here. We're coming after the entrenched infantry. First thing we do is roll for flak. It's a 1. No flak. Yee-hee. Roll for an 8. No special event. All right. So we're attacking. So first thing we do, these guys' initiative's a 3. So here we go. We're going to put our initiative on. We roll 1d6. It's a 4. Plus 8's a 12. Plus 2's a 14. That's good. All right. The next one is a 3. This is Frank. 11 plus 1's 12. And the last one is a 5. That's good for these guys. 13 and 1's a 14. So I got both guys up here coming in. All right. This bodes well for us. So here we go. Francis will attack first. 14. Their initiative's 3, so that's an 11. So we get 3d6. We got to weather the anti-aircraft fire, which is 2d6. So they roll. Oh, they got a hit on Francis. That's his first hit. Okay, we roll for damage, and it's a 2, no damage. Okay, he's attacking with 3d6. He gets a 6, a 3, and a 2, and he is, come on, plus 2. 8, 5, and 4. So that's 1, 2, that's 4 hits. So we put 4 hits on this entrenched infantry. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, here comes the first hit. It's a d6 strafing, 5, that's 1 hit on the infantry. Okay, do a second hit. It's a 2, it missed. We do the third hit. It's a 6. He's got 2 hits on him now. And we do his fourth hit. It's a 3, it's a hit. Okay, so we got 3 hits, and 3 hits is enough to damage this cat. So we flip him to damaged. We need 3 more hits to eliminate him, and his flak is down to 1. All right, so that was Francis. All right, here comes August. He is 11, so that's going to be 3d6. Let's see. Let's roll for the 1d6. It's a 1. They didn't hit him. He gets 3d6, and he's plus 1. There we go. 6, 7, 2. So that's 4 more hits. So we'll just decrease, and decrease. Okay, here comes the first hit. A 3, that's a hit. Goes up to 4. Second hit. A 3, that's up to 5. A 1, it missed. That was his third hit. And now for the fourth hit, it's a 2. Missed it. Daggone. He didn't get it. I was hoping he'd get it, but he didn't get it. Okay, that completed him. Get rid of this. And now we come in with Frank. Frank is a 12. Their initiative is 4, so it's plus 8. So he gets 2d6. They have 1 artillery firing back at him. It's a 5, nothing. So he attacks with 2d6. He rolls a 5 and a 6. This is great because he gets to add 1. So that's 6 and a 7. That's 4 hits. So I'm pounding on him. Let's see if we can get him here. Here's first hit. It's a 1. It's a miss. Second hit. It's a 1. Oh my goodness. Third hit. A 4. He got it. So that's it. We destroyed the target. We take that out. Take that out. We move this to the destroyed. We got all our ground targets are done. These guys are going to go back up to the current flight box now. Come on. And right there, get them all in the box. All in a row. All right. We did it all in one pass. That's great. Good shooting, boys. Okay, now we got to try to get home. Okay, it's turn 10. First thing we want to do is get back on our side of the trench. So there's no artillery. Roll for special event. 9. Over the trenches. I do believe. Yes, we have an event. Dang, I was hoping we wouldn't have one. So, okay. So I'll show you what that was real quick here. So you can see. All right. So right here, we're over the trenches. A 9 to 12 is an event. So we're going to roll over the trenches. These are the things that can happen. It can be anything from a weather change or engine trouble to an enemy raid to enemy fighters. Ground fire can fire at us. And ground targets. Okay? So here we go. We're going to roll. We roll 2d6. And we rolled an 8. 8 to 10 is ground fire. So we do have to take this ground fire. The way I think about it is it happened while we were traveling over that. So we roll it 1d6. A 1 is light fire, so it's 1 for each aircraft. So we'll just 1, 2, 3 across there like we had them lined up. Again, it takes a 6 for the hit. A miss, and a hit. So, who's that? Francis takes a hit. He's got 2 hits. We roll for damage. It's a 2 plus 1's a 3. No damage. All right. Here we go. We're over our area. Roll 2, 6 for the event. 8. No event. Oops, I should have moved my turn marker. It's 11. Now we're going to turn 12. We're going to move. Roll for the event. 12. We got an event in the friendly rear. Okay, here we go. Got to roll 2d6. We rolled a 10. Enemy fighters. So they spotted me or might spot me. So here we roll 1d6 to find out how many fighters we're going to face. 6. Oh, the dice gods are after me again. Okay. There's going to be 6 enemy fighters. Now what I have to do, I'll show you this, is we haven't done this yet. Okay, so that's what we rolled, 6 enemy fighters. So we come down here. They're German, of course. We don't have to roll for the nationality. We have to determine what type they are. Now, we're tier 3, so we're going to roll 1d6, and it's going to tell us if they're going to be tier 2 or tier 3. It's a 50-50 chance. Hope they're tier 2. I at least get that advantage. But there's too many of them. So this is not good. Then after that, we'll have to do some checks. Okay, so we reduce this, bring us up, and we're going to roll 1d6, and it's a 5. So they have 6 tier 3 fighters. So I need to pull those fighters out because I need to see what they are. So we're going to draw these cards. We need 6 of them. Okay. We come up here, we bring these guys down here. We'll just put them in this area because I got to unstack them because I need to see. Well, actually, I don't have to unstack them because Manfred's got a +2 for his initiative, and that's what I needed to know. Okay, so there's a +2 in there. So here's the reason for that. I got to look at my fighters. My guys, my best guy is Frank, and he's a 2, so that's going to help. Okay, so what we're looking at here is, right here, is this detection check. So on the very first time that we get intercepted or we run into fighters, we have to roll to see who sees who first. So we both have the same amount of friendly air skills, so there's no advantage, and there's no 2-seater. So it's a straight up roll. The higher the number, the better for us. The lower the number, the problem for us. Okay. We want to evade these guys. I can tell you, I've bad luck when you have to fight these when you're outnumbered. Okay. So here we go. We got to roll 2d6, and it's an 11. You surprise the enemy. We can choose to engage or evade. We're going to evade, which means that I get rid of all these guys now. So return them to the deck. D7s. And I guess I'm going to have to return them one at a time. D7. There's probably a way to do this, and I'm just not handy enough yet. D7. Return to deck. D7. Return to deck. D7. Return to deck. So I really got lucky here because they didn't see me. Whew, man, that's when it gets tense, because if they had jumped me, I was going to be in big trouble. They had Manfred was up there with them, and I just really don't need all this damage happening to my planes. Okay, so we evaded that. avoided that. It's now turn 13. And we're going to move over 1. We got to roll for an event. And it's a 9, no event. Turn 14. Move down. Roll for an event. It's a 7, no event. Next turn 15. Roll. We'll move down. Roll for the event. No event. This is going well now. 16. We move. Roll for the event. No event. Turn 17. We move. Roll for the event. No event. Turn 18. We move. Now we're over our airfield. They could still intercept us. Roll. No event. We made it home. That's it. Okay. Man, oh man. So, this mission was a trench strafing. So I want to go to my spreadsheet real quick. Put in my mission type. Trench strafing. And now we have to calculate MPs. Okay. We're going to reduce this. Come back to our board. And I'll show you how this works too. Okay. So we're at the end. We got home, post-mission phase. We determined this. So we go down through here and we calculate our MPs based on what happened to us. Okay? And we'll add our MPs and then we'll decide how to spend them. Okay. So we come down here and get my sheet in front of me so I don't mess this up while we're doing this. Sorry. Okay, so we didn't destroy any enemy fighters or any enemy two-seaters or any enemy bombers. So each ground target, we get the MPs for each one. So for the infantry was 3, the balloon was 5, that's 8, and 4 more for the anti-aircraft machine guns. So we scored 12 MPs. So I'm going to record that because I like to see what I'm doing here. Oh, I've got to modify that. That's not the final number yet. All right. And then each friendly fighter destroyed, you lose 2 plus the pilot's air skill. He had 0 air skill, so he's destroyed. So I lose 2 MPs. So this went from 12 to 10. So that's what my real MPs is. Yeah, 10. Now we can decide what to do here with our points. This is where we spend our points. So first of all, Fred is in the lost box. He's gone now for the campaign. We can get rid of these. They go back into the deck. Okay. All right. So I have 10 MPs. These are not cumulative. This is how many. I could buy 9 of them. 3 victory points would cost me 9, and I would only have 1 left. It costs me 2 to replace this aircraft. So if I spend 2, it leaves me with 8, and I can buy 2 victory points, and I can have a full allotment of aircraft again. Or I can take 3 victory points and go with 1 short. All these guys, even though they were hit, they weren't damaged. So all these guys come back into the airfield now. So to me, what this represents is that, you know, they get some holes in the plane, but nothing that the flight crew couldn't fix overnight. So they do their repair work and they're ready to go again. So I've got them there. So I'm going to go one short here and hope for the best. And I'm going to buy 3 victory points, which is 9. So I spend 9 points. It leaves me with 1. Do my math here. It's not that hard. And I get 3 victory points. The way this works is it's a use them or lose them. So if I bring you to the rules, which are here, one of the test rules after combat, unspent MPs may not be carried over from mission to mission. If they are not spent, they're lost. This goes for negative too. You don't have to recover any negatives if you have a bad mission. So this is going to go to 0. That's where we're going to start the next mission. Our mission turn is going to go to 1. Okay. Got everybody's back. We're short 1 plane now. We lost 1. And we're off, I think, to a good start. We're going to now have, oops, wrong sheet. Wanted my spreadsheet. So we earned 3 victory points in this first mission. This is a successful mission. I hate that we lost a fighter. If he'd only been damaged, I could have repaired him and got him back in. But because he got killed, he was gone now. At some point, I'll need to replace him with somebody else. But right now, we're early on, and this is a successful mission. So with that being said, we take a look at the board. We're all set up for the next day. We haven't moved the campaign marker yet, but that's the end of mission number 1. All in all, a very successful mission. So that's it for this first turn of this play test. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please subscribe to the channel. If you like this video in particular, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. All right, so that concludes this one, and I'll see you guys later.